Hey guys, I am Pixel Dan, and today we are going to be checking out the Ringside Collectibles exclusive Major Wrestling Figure Podcast action figures. Of course, that means we've got Matt Cardona, Brian Myers, Smart Mark Sterling, and a referee named John. Really excited about this assortment because these are in the 5.5 scale and style. 5.5 inches, very similar to the vintage Remco AWA figures, or in the same scale even as the current Masters of the WWE Universe figures, or even the current WWE Superstars figures that Mattel is doing. So if you are into that vintage kind of 5.5 style like I am, these definitely speak to you, which is exactly why I picked them up, and I'm excited to check them out. Now, these are limited edition. You can see both Matt Cardona and Brian Myers are one of 1,500. Mark Sterling is one of 1,000, and the referee is one of 750, which is surprising to me because I feel like this is definitely one of the more popular figures, and I can see why. In fact, this one sold out right away. Let's just get that out of the way right at the beginning of the video. If you didn't pre-order these, you missed out on the referee pretty quickly. I think it's pretty easy to see why a lot of people would want a referee in this styling right here. But the rest of the figures are currently still available as of the recording of this video, so we're definitely going to check them all out so you can see. Really neat blister card packaging here. Of course, they got that nice little like hollow foil limited edition sticker on the front there. You can see, oh my gosh, they're just falling over everywhere. But the back has got some artwork of the figures as well as photos of the wrestlers on the back there. So really nice packages, and actually they feel real sturdy. You can see the way that the blister bubbles are. They're very much kind of form fit to the figures themselves. They can kind of stand up on their own, but they should hang really good. Like I said, it's nice sturdy cardboard on these packages, which is really nice. But I'm gonna rip these open and we're gonna get a closer look at the figures within. All right, so we got all these guys outside of the packaging. If I bring in the tape measure, you can see that they actually go almost all the way up to a full 6 inches tall. I'm knocking figures over here. Of course, they are in that kind of squat stance, just like vintage Remco figures, Masters of the Universe, any of those types of lines. And all in all, I do really like the style of these. The heads do seem like they're slightly oversized, but kind of like in that retro way. So it's really fun stuff. You'll also notice that both Matt Cardona and Brian Myers come with extra heads. They've got masked heads. Now, if you don't know this, that's because while they were both still under contract with the E, Ringside Collectibles did release some Major Wrestling Figure Podcast 2-packs that utilized these bodies, but they had the masks on because they couldn't use their likenesses before. But I thought it was really cool that it came with these as like an alternate, so if you just want to, the head pops right off there. It's like a post on there, and then you can pop the new head on. You got to give it a little bit of a press, but it locks on nice and solid. And now we've got these guys as luchadors or masked wrestlers. So that's actually a really cool, different way to display them. It's also good if you're just looking for some wrestlers to kind of build out your collection. You've got those options there to do just that. Now, the overall figures feel nice and sturdy. I do like the quality of the plastic that's used there. I also really like the paint deco. The colors are really good. You can see Cardona's got the Always Ready in the blue and purple on the back of the trunks. Really nice deco on the front. Got the signature blue and orange there with the logo on the side of the pants for Brian Myers. So all of these guys do look really, really good. Even the details on the knee pads are nice. And what I was really surprised by is that the knee pads are separate pieces. They're not part of the sculpts. You can take these off if you want to, though I would be careful. I think maybe they're meant to be glued on. So I was able to take off, like, look at this. I can pull off Zack Ryder's knee pad over here on the left, and it comes off just fine. It's just on little pegs there. But on the right, when I started doing it, it started tearing a little bit. So I think maybe they're supposed to be glued on. I would just kind of watch that. If you want to take the knee pads off, just kind of be careful there so you don't tear the plastic in case it is glued. Now, the articulation is very similar to those retro figures there from Remco and such. Let me move some of these other guys out of the way real quick so we can focus on that. Of course, the heads just turn left and right at that neck peg there where I showed you where it comes off. The arms move up and down at the shoulders. The waist turns left and right. There's no action feature in there, just a regular pivot there. And then you can see that the way that the thighs work, they do have the nice joints. So you can see they actually go outwards, and they do slightly kind of twist around. Now, this is different than, say, Vintage Masters of the Universe, where it used those rubber bands. Or if I can show you guys here on the old AWA wrestlers, they also had like the ball and socket posts in there. So these are different, and they do seem sturdy on these figures. Like, the legs do not seem loose. They articulate well. I can get these guys standing, and I don't have any issues with it. So hopefully those will hold up good over time. Hopefully that'll actually function better than the way some of those vintage figures are styled. So all in all, I am pretty happy with how these turned out. Now, one thing else I want to show you guys here. Bring in Mark Sterling and our referee, and you might notice that these actually do share a head mold. It is the same head mold for both figures, just painted different. We got a beard painted on, of course, for Sterling, while the referee is clean shaven with dark hair. It's a reuse of parts, a great callback to vintage toys. Of course, that helps with the mold sharing and all that as well. They do all have the same bodies here as well, from what I can tell. I mean, look, our referee's wearing boots. With his pants tucked into his boots. But one thing I like about the referee is he's wearing a cloth ref shirt, which is pretty cool. In fact, it's just Velcroed on the back. I do like how it's got the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast logo on the front of the ref shirt. But you can pull this, you can pull it off your ref figure if you want to. And if you want to set up some sort of like a screw job, you can throw it on Cardona here or Myers or any of these guys. And it's just another fun way to kind of mix and match the parts. But I do think having a referee is definitely very cool. And I kind of like the cloth ref shirt. So we got to do some fun comparison times here. I can show our new referee standing alongside my old Remco here, which is actually really fun because we got a nice actual referee figure and not just a reuse of a vampire, basically. But it is still fun looking at like the vintage figure standing alongside this modern one here. Like I said, I feel like the referee was definitely so popular because, with everybody getting like the new WWE Superstars figures from Mattel, or even the Masters of the WWE Universe, having a referee to display with those seems like a no-brainer. I kind of hope they make more of this guy. And just for some more comparisons with these figures, we'll go ahead and bring in my Remco Ric Flair there, standing alongside it. We'll also bring in a Mattel Masters of the WWE Macho Man, just so you can see how these new figures scale. They are much more closely related to those vintage Remco figures, though you can see the head size that I'm talking about, definitely a little bit bigger on these figures here. But this is what they look like kind of matched up with these three different types of figures, all kind of done in that same 5.5 style. And then here's a comparison time with all these Matt Cardona figures. Why do I have so many Matt Cardona figures? I mean, he doesn't even have all the belts or anything. I don't know who this guy is. I could probably beat him. So there you guys go. There is a look at the brand new 5.5-inch Major Wrestling Figure Podcast action figures. These are exclusive to Ringside Collectibles. Like I said, unfortunately, the referee was the most limited and he sold out already, but the other guys are still in stock as of the recording of this video, so definitely check them out if you're into this style of action figure. I think these are really nicely done, and hopefully this means more will be coming. I definitely think more referees would be a good thing. So thank you guys so very much for watching this video, and until next time.